Hi there. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. Obviously, I'm in the car again. It is Sunday, the 30th of November, 2025, and it is 15:05. I am just leaving my mother-in-law's, having had a lovely Sunday lunch, and on my way to Hazelmere, of course, to visit my wife in the hospital. I have a brand new dash cam. Now you may call me foolish, but I bought exactly the same model as the one that's just screwed up. Number one, I can plug this straight in and it will obviously connect with the rear dash cam. I didn't buy the whole set, I just bought the front one as a replacement unit. Worked immediately. Number two, I don't have to have it rewired or set up by anybody. It's just a replacement of the unit. And number three, the other one worked fine for 4 years until it let me down on Thursday. So, also, the company that makes these, there really is no viable competitor. It's a bit like DJI and drones, right? They are ubiquitous. Well, this is made by Nextbase, who seem to make millions of different models of dash cams, and again, I would say that they are ubiquitous, but it's not a sponsored video by any means, I'm just saying. So, touch wood, it seems to be working, although I've got a misty part of my window, which has nothing to do with the dash cam. I've got these dehumidifier packs in the front and rear of the car, but I think I need to get some Windoline and actually give it a proper clean. Anyway, that's that. Saturday, you will have seen, probably, if you're a regular viewer, the unbagging of the Doctor Who Fourth Doctor cardigan by Lavazzi. One thing I didn't comment on, because I don't really care, is how accurate it is to the original. I think I read somewhere that it needs more pockets, but short of going and getting one made or making one myself, and I can't knit, what am I supposed to do? So there was that. I went into town in the morning and I had my eyes tested. You may have seen last week's episode. I was coming home from Wimbledon. I was going from Wimbledon to Hazelmere to visit Liz, and where the road was going off to my right, I was seeing a divergence. I was seeing 2 rows of white lines and like cat's eyes, and I was seeing 2 lots of red tail lights. However, when the road went to the left, it wasn't a problem, and as soon as we got to an illuminated section of the A3, it also wasn't a problem, but then the problem occurred again later. Anyway, I had my eyes tested. Did not have to pay for the eye test because I am diabetic, and thus the eye test is free on the NHS. But I did upgrade. I always pay for the extra tests, which is where they blow the puff of air into your eye and all the rest of it. I pay for those tests. That was £5, so the whole thing only cost me £5. Anyway, I do not need new glasses. This is both good and not good, because I would have been up for a new pair of glasses, but it has saved me £400. And that's one of the reasons I've been putting off having my eyes tested, is because at that time I couldn't afford new glasses. Basically, all of my work bonus, my variable pay this year, went into frigging house repairs, when that is stuff that would normally go on other costs, like new glasses or anything in particular that's going on at that time of the year. So I was overdue a test, and I was getting hassled by Specsavers. but I ignored it until I had this problem with the double vision. What the optician, very nice lady, said was that there's possibly a weakness in the muscle of my right eye, and for all we know that could have been there forever and we've only just noticed it, and the fact that I was very tired Thursday night meant that it was observable, and also of course driving in the dark. She was getting me to track a pencil, and I was reminded of RoboCop. You know the scene in RoboCop when they turn on the targeting sensor and they're getting him to target the pencil or the pen? I was reminded of that, but I only saw double when I was focusing on it about here, not that side or anywhere else. So anyway, she says I don't need a new prescription, everything is fine with my glasses. I even had a peripheral eye vision test and that was absolutely fine. And what was I going to say? However, to make double sure, she's going to refer me to the eye specialist at the hospital to double check, and she suspects that the eye specialist will probably say exactly what she said, but we're going to double check to be sure. I asked whether, would the fact that maybe my glasses weren't as clean as they could be, would that have affected the problem? No. And also I said, apart from concentrating really hard, is there anything I can do to stop it? No. So anyway, so I monged around in town for a bit, got a few Christmas related things. I then went to the post office and posted some selection boxes, and I asked for 30, and I said 30 first class Christmas stamps, and for some reason I was given 50. I was charged for 50. I thought it was odd. I left the shop. I'm like, why have I got 50? I spent over £100 in the post office posting 5 selection boxes in just 3 parcels and getting stamps these days. My God. Anyway, I've now got a 50 first class Christmas stamps to get through. Bummer. Then I went home. I had a lovely day yesterday. I will obviously be punished for this. Not allowed to have a nice day. It's a beautiful day today. It's 6 degrees. The sun is bright. We've got blue skies. It's a gorgeous day. The sun is, of course, setting now. In about an hour, it will have gone down. It's now 12 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. But I watched an episode of Gen V. I had my dinner, made the video. The house is fully stocked. The house is tidy, which is nice. And then I played one Anno 117 Pax Romana until about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm addicted to that game at the moment, and I would love to be able to take some days off work and just, play through it. I'm still playing the campaign. I'm probably very slow. I've apparently hit a 24-hour award on the campaign, but I just watched a review and somebody said, oh, you can do the campaign in 10 hours. Yeah, you probably can, but I'm trying to, immerse myself in this world. Also, I am playing on regular speed all the time. I haven't sped the game up once, so that probably doesn't, that maybe have something to do with it. Anyway, according to the stats, I'm 100% complete on the game, which I think means the campaign, but I've only just got to the 3rd level of people. I've got Libertus, 3 people, the plebeians, the plebs, and I've now got Equites. I've only got about a dozen of those. So I've not finished building everything yet. So anyway, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing that. There we go. This morning I had a very strange dream that I was at a wedding, but we were having the sort of food that I normally heat up. So we were having, chips, spaghetti hoops, and fried chicken and pizza, and this was the buffet at the wedding. It was weird. But the wedding was at the office, which was also weird. and may not have been a wedding at all, which is also weird. This week I have to go to Wimbledon on Wednesday instead of Thursday because we've got a meeting, but that should be okay. And tomorrow I'm taking Anthony back to the youth club. So, I wanted to talk to you people about something that I've never told anyone until very recently on Facebook. A little thing that my head always makes me do. I'm currently following a vehicle and it's got a 23 number plate. And in my head, I have to add numbers up if I see them. If I see numbers on a clock face, like a digital clock face, or if I see numbers on a number plate, or if I see numbers on a sign, if I'm looking at the sign for long enough, I have to add the numbers up. It's weird. And also, like on a clock face, it's also weird. So it's currently 15:15, right? So you've got 1515, which equals 12. But then for some reason, and I've always done this since I was a kid, I count the colon in the middle. I count that as 2, 1 dot. If it's 1 dot, I count that as a 1. If it's 2 dots, like a colon, I count that as a 2. So 1515, which is the number 12, becomes the number 14. I don't know why I do this. I can't stop doing it. I can't stop adding up numbers. And even numbers make me happy, odd numbers make me sad, right? I'm always adding up numbers. So there's a sign up here at Shell Garage. Petrol is 139.9. So 9 plus the point is 10. And then the 139 is another, that's just 23. Why do I do this? Why do I constantly add up numbers? I don't know. I've been doing it for 45 years and I never thought to tell anyone in case somebody thought I was insane. But here's the thing, it goes further than that, and this is part of something that I've never mentioned to anybody. I then take the digits of that number in my head and I add those digits together. Ultimately, the aim is to get one digit, right? So if it's 14, 1 and 4 is 5, right? So I'll always basically work it down till it's one digit, okay? So the number 123 would equal 6, right? If the number that I break it down to is a 2-digit number or greater, then I break it down again, then I break it down again, and I break it down again until I get to a single number, right? Don't know why I do this, haven't got a clue. But here's the trick. This is the really mental part that makes me wonder that I'm insane. I then take that single number and in my head I will convert it to a digital, the sort of number that you would see on like an old digital watch, you know, where you've got the lines. So 1 is 2 because it's got 2 lines, 2 is 5, 3 is also is 6, sorry, no, 3 is also 5, right? 4 is 4, 5 is 5, 6 is 6, 7 is 3, 8 is 7, 9 is 6, and 0 is 6. Not that I ever get a 0, but you know what I mean. So basically, here's the thing, right? If I get the number 1, then that becomes a number 2 because I'm counting the lines, and then I'll count the lines again, and there's 5 lines in a digital number 2, so that gives me the number 5, but there's 5 lines in a digital number 5, so we stop at 5. Yeah? It's like if the number is 6, there's 6 lines in a number 6, so we stop at 6. If the number is 7, there's 3 lines in a number 7, which takes us to 3, which takes us to 5. If it's a number 4, there's 4 lines in a number 4, which leaves us at 4. Right? If it's a 7, if it's a number 8, there's 7 lines in a digital number 8, which takes us to 7, which takes us to 3, which takes us to 5, so we stop at 5. And in my head, my process is that every number in the universe will ultimately equal a 4 or a 5 or a 6 in this little system I've got. Why the fuck do I do this? I don't know. There's a twist to this. I could also argue is that everything goes down to 4, right? Because 5 lines in a number 5, well, the number 5 is 4 letters, which gives us 4, which gives us 4, which gives us 4. 4 is 4 lines and 4 letters. So 4 is like an absolute. 6 is 3 letters, which takes us to 5, which takes us to 5. Which takes us to 4. So basically, I can argue with some logic, some twisted logic in my head, that every number can be rounded down to 4 based on this stupid fucking system that I've got in my head. Why do I do this? What is wrong with me? Why do I do this? I have been doing this, as I say, for 45 years. And I've never told anybody this before, that this is what's inside my head. Now, I have to tell you this because you might recall one of the purposes of this vlog, which I think I might have said in some of the very first episodes, nearly 400 episodes ago, is that ultimately I would like to become immortal, and I would like to be at least replicated in a digital form, maybe centuries in the future. Imagine that all my YouTube videos survive and are available for millennia in the future, centuries, right? Thousands of years, whatever it might be. If somebody was to find these videos and all the stories I've ever written that have been published online, all the online stuff, all my forum postings, all of my poetry, if somebody was to assemble all of this and put it together, they could recreate me digitally. Much like they did, I believe, in an episode of The Orville, where one of the crew recreates a person from the past on like their version of the holodeck, I seem to recall. So I'm giving this information so that it can be included in the pattern for me, because it needs to be, because all these things make up me, including all the weird shit that I do with numbers in my head, right? And so I have to tell you this. Also, when I posted the other day about me adding up numbers, other people said they do the same. So perhaps I'm not totally insane, although I think the jury might still be out on the whole digital number conversion thing that goes on in my head. But it's like a habit that I can't get out of, and it just kind of makes me mildly happy. It just keeps my brain ticking over. It's like my brain very rarely stops. Like I constantly overthink things, and I'm constantly processing shit like this in my head, and I don't know why I do it. So anyway, just wanted to tell you about that. If the mechanism by which I'm doing this is unclear, then please let me know, and I will try and, include it in a future video. However, if you are bored to tears listening to this stupid thing that I do, then by all means, Anyway, time to stop this element of the vlog, this clip. Hopefully, if I remember and if I have time, I will get some footage from Liz at the hospital. Okay, here we are with Liz at the hospital. Liz, wave hello to the boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
Tell the boys and girls what you've been doing this week.
I don't know. Not a lot. I haven't had hydro. It was cancelled.
Yep.
Physio as usual. Not a lot else. I've written Christmas cards.
Yeah, we've got stamps to post those away.
And I went to a meeting with family and patience.
What are you doing next week?
Monday nothing, Tuesday physio, Wednesday physio, Thursday appointment, Friday probably nothing.
I've got to go to Wimbledon on Wednesday.
Okay. Well, Thursday I've got an appointment. I'm supposed to have physio on Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, but I don't know if they'll change Friday for Wednesday or not. I need to talk to them tomorrow because I've got to have an ECG monitor, and this monitor has to stay on from 24 hours to 7 days. I don't know how long. They'll tell me at the meeting.
Okay, say goodbye to the boys and girls.
I love boys and girls.
Right, I'm back home. Obviously spent the afternoon with Liz. We got some more Christmas presents on the way for Anthony because his pile was looking a little bit light compared to Alice's, but they are also both getting some money anyway. And also, of course, Anthony's birthday is 4 days after Christmas, but he had his Switch already. So, but we've got one more thing coming for him. So might have a little bit more wrapping to do this week. Just wanted to finalise this video with this. So I put the Moonbase patch into, I bought this black frame and I bought some black card. It's a 6x6 frame. And I mounted the patch in there. I just didn't want it getting damaged or destroyed somehow. You can see my screen reflected in there. That's because I'm editing this video. So, I don't know whether to put this on the wall or just stand it up, but I think that looks pretty amazing. And I'm probably one of very few people to own one of these. I'm really chuffed with it. So, let's finish this off, shall we? Thank you so much for watching this episode of Total Ramblings. Please remember to do the usual YouTube-y stuff, like, subscribe, comment, share, complain about me, whatever you like, really. Hopefully I'll see you in the next episode, whatever it may be. Bye-bye.